For, like, forever, the financial world had these unwritten rules, right? And it was dominated by giants. But that world, it's been totally shaken up. Today, we're diving into this massive power shift, a story about how the little guys learned to move the biggest markets.
I mean, think about it. For as long as anyone can remember, the answer to who controls the markets was pretty simple. But what if that's just not true anymore? What if the whole foundation of market power is starting to crack?
And what if this new force isn't some other big institution, but something way more spread out, chaotic, and maybe even more powerful? We're talking millions of individual investors, all connected, all coordinating, all acting like one. And that, right there, is the big puzzle we're trying to solve today.
Okay, so to really get what's happening now, we have to go back. We need to look at the old regime. For the better part of a century, Wall Street was basically a closed club, a world built by and for the financial titans.
In this chart, it just nails the old power dynamic. It wasn't even a competition, you know? It was already decided. Institutional money was the entire ocean, and the individual retail investor, they were just a drop in it. You had basically zero ability to change the tides.
So who are these giants exactly? Well, we're talking about the big players. Hedge funds, pension funds, huge investment banks, these are the entities trading billions with a B of dollars, all based on what their teams of analysts and super complex models are telling them. They had all the money, all the access, and all the information. They called the shots.
But then, things started to change. A whole series of technological breakthroughs started popping up, and they began quietly rewriting the rules, giving power back to the individual in ways that were honestly unimaginable before.
Now, this didn't happen all at once. It was a slow burn. First, back in the 90s, you had online brokerages that brought the stock market to your home computer. Kind of revolutionary. Then in the 2010s, smartphone apps put it right in our pockets. And the final piece of the puzzle? Zero commission trading. That just blew the doors open, removing the last real financial barrier for the little guy. Every single step made it dramatically easier and cheaper to get in the game.
And the result of all that? An absolute explosion. We're talking a surge of over 300% in retail trading accounts in just a few short years. This wasn't some gradual trend. It was a flood, a tidal wave of new people and new money pouring into the system, just waiting to get organized.
Okay, but look, having access is one thing. Actually having power is something else entirely. The real game changer wasn't just the tech to trade. It was the tech that let people talk and coordinate with each other on a massive scale. So here's how it works now, this new playbook. It doesn't start in some fancy boardroom, nope. It starts online, in a forum or a chat group with an idea, a shared belief, a thesis, they might call it. That idea starts to build momentum as the community gets behind it, and then that online buzz turns into real coordinated buying. And the market? Well, the market only understands one thing, buying and selling pressure. It has no choice but to react.
What you end up with is a totally different way of moving markets. The old way was all top-down, super slow, and very formal, right? Based on secret research. The new way? It's bottoms-up, unbelievably fast, and, let's be honest, pretty chaotic. Information, and yeah, misinformation too, spreads in minutes, not months, and that creates these sudden, incredibly powerful forces in the market. So this whole shift from that old top-down system to this new hybrid one has created a brand new market reality. And it has some serious consequences for everyone, from the smallest day trader all the way up to the biggest hedge fund.
And this really brings us to the key takeaway, the one thing you need to remember from all of this. The fundamental balance of power in the financial markets is changing right now, right in front of us.
So what does that change actually look like? Well, for one, a lot more volatility. You see prices swinging like crazy as huge crowds all rush into or out of a stock at the same time. You also hear the term democratization of finance, which means more people get a seat at the table. But, and this is a big but, it also cranks up the risk of herd behavior, where following the crowd can lead to some really painful losses. And of course, it creates brand new headaches for the big institutions that used to run the whole show.
This all creates a really interesting tension, doesn't it? On one hand, you've got this incredible promise of democratization, a more level playing field for everyone. But on the other hand, you have the very real risk of instability, where the actual fundamentals of a company can just get washed away by a wave of social media hype. It makes you ask, right, does democratization mean everyone gets a fair shot, or just that everyone gets equal access to taking on huge risks? So where does that leave us? Well, We're in a new kind of hybrid world now. The market isn't just a monologue delivered by the big institutions anymore. It's more like a negotiation, a constant tug of war between the heavyweight of traditional money and the fast-moving, coordinated power of the retail crowd.
And that leaves us with the big defining question for our time. Are we watching the dawn of a more democratic, more accessible future for finance? Or have we just kicked off a new era of wild, chaotic instability in the markets? The crazy part is, we don't have the answer yet. We're all living through it.